I was born in Brigham City, Utah, July 23rd, 1937. I grew up in a very middle-class family. My father was a school teacher. My mother was, for the most part, a stay-at-home mom, although she worked out of the home in the later years when I was in high school and college. I attended Box Elder High School, had a great group of teachers and a great group of friends that I still enjoy contact with.
I was raised in Teton Valley, the Wyoming side, right up bordering the Targhee National Forest. Dad and Mother bought a little 160-acre plot with 20 acres that had been cleared. It was one of the greatest ways to be raised that you could. You learned to work, you learned to enjoy what you did, the benefits of it.
I danced with a young lady who said her name was Moonyeen Rigby. I couldn't remember that first name, but I could remember the Rigby, and so a few days later I thought, well, I'd like to take her out on a date. And I went over to the school records, which were open in those days, and I looked through the catalog for Rigby, and then I found one that had a name that was strikingly different. I found out when her last class on a particular day was, and it was at the south classroom at the south end of the old main building. So I went over there and did kind of a walk-in place routine until she came out of the classroom, and then I walked and said, "Oh, fancy meeting you here." It's now been 57 years and 2 months with 6 children and 16 grandchildren, and maybe that's my greatest legacy from Utah State, was finding Moonyeen there. So in June of 1959, we packed our belongings into a little Fiat that we owned, and Moonyeen was by then 7 months pregnant with our first child, and we scurried off to California and found a little apartment in Mountain View, and we started what turned out to be a 40-year or almost 40-year career with what, in my opinion, was the finest company you could find at that time in the United States or anywhere else in the world. That industry was evolving very rapidly at that time, and we, as I think most companies in that business, were having a real struggle with quality, because a lot of products would make it to the marketplace that hadn't been completely wrung out and debugged. And one of the major issues was the quality of semiconductor memory parts. And we'd gathered data on thousands and thousands of semiconductor parts from everybody in the industry who was supplying us. And I presented that data, keeping the company names anonymously, but revealed that at that point in time, Japanese manufacturers were doing much better than American manufacturers at getting good quality parts. Well, it kind of shook up the industry, and a writer by the name of Ben Rosen wrote extensively on my talk and referred to it as the Anderson bombshell. And so I quickly got a lot of notoriety, not only in the United States, but also in Japan. I used to kid in talks that I would give that, excuse me, dear, but I was so nervous about the people being after me that I sent my wife out each morning to start the car. Later, I got some vindication that it had actually been a help to the American component providers as well as the Japanese providers, because I think they better understood that to stay in the game, the quality had to be top-notch. And Utah State was very instrumental and indispensable in my having the enjoyable career that I was able to have. We want to see more and more students have the kind of opportunities that we've enjoyed. One of the most satisfying things we've been able to do with Utah State is provide some scholarship help. And if I could leave any message to the young people is, please take advantage of it. Use these scholarships. Get an engineering degree. There is no degree that you can get that will provide you the basis for your future like a degree in engineering. One of the greatest experiences of our life and of our joint career was the wonderful people that we've known. And I think paramount when you have enjoyed some success along with experiences with wonderful people is giving back something. And we've learned that there are certain things that when you give to, you never miss the money at all. One of those is helping young people. There are so many young, wonderful people in the world today that just need a little boost, a little help, a little understanding of the opportunities that are out there. And for those of us who've enjoyed these experiences, we would be derelict in our responsibilities if we didn't share and give something back. And I promise you from personal experience that which you give with a spirit of love and thanksgiving for what you have, you'll never miss. You'll never miss it at all.